Hello everybody. The next we're going to talk about is the calendar primitive. The calendar is showing basically a calendar. I'm sure you know what it is. You can show it by month, by week, by day, any view that you want. You can also set the default view. You can also allow to add an event and so on. But the most important thing about the calendar is to be able to set the start date and the end date. Okay, so how do you do that? For me, for this app, this is a real app. You can see this is a real app of a real business that's using Makyo. How do we do that part, start date and end date? Okay, so there's a few important functions to discuss here. Okay, so first of all, in this particular example, I am bringing with a lookup the date and time. I'm bringing it from another table. Okay, so now it's a lookup. Now I have the date and time for each guest. Okay. The next thing is the start time. So the start time, let's see what it looks like here. We have a function called time shift. Time shift is basically when you take any date and time and you add or deduct an amount of minutes, years, weeks, super useful. Okay, so in this case, I want to basically add 30 minutes to the arrival time because the first 30 minutes, they are not doing the treatment yet. Okay, so I'm adding 30 minutes. Okay, and I said, so 30 minutes, and this is the column, done. And now I get 30 minutes after this time. You can see 2:11, then 2:41. Okay, that's my start time for this particular example, right? Now, this one is basically a math column that calculates how many minutes, because every person is different. So it doesn't matter exactly, I'm not going to get into it, but there's a bunch of calculations and so on. The result is how much time. Okay, so this will allow me to calculate the end date and time. So this is the end date and time. So I want to basically do this one plus this one. Okay, so how do I do it? Again, with the time shift. Okay, so I basically said this is the starting date and time, this is how many minutes it takes, and the unit is minutes. So now I get the end time. Okay, so that's what I choose here, start time, end time, and that's what it's going to show up here. Okay, now it looks a little bit overwhelming because there's so many people. By the way, this is a real app, real business. Okay, so what the staff of this business will do to use it effectively, they're going to use the filters that we have here. So for example, and this is something that you can add when you use the calendar component, you can basically say I want to add filters, and right now we have a location filter and also a room filter, but you can add any filters that you want, just like any primitive, any repeater, even though it's not a repeater. So for example, I want to just see what's happening in room number 1. So I choose room number 1, and you can see who is in room number 1. Could be more than one person. So this way I can say, okay, can I fit another person here or whatever? Okay, this is super useful. So there's a lot more to talk about with the calendar primitive, but I think it's enough for now. I think you got the point. You let me know if you have questions. Thank you.